Christianity is a knowledge of the past based upon testimony. Was Christ raised from the dead? Did he claim to be God? Did he heal the sick? All that we know through historical investigation depending on its testimony. But some people say, look, Josh, you can't know history. You can't know. You can't know history. Then I respond, then you cannot claim then that Jesus Christ was not raised from the dead. If you can't know history, if you say I can't claim he was raised from the dead, then you cannot claim that he wasn't raised from the dead. So my statement is as valid as your statement if you cannot know history. But I want to examine two questions in these segments together. The first question is this, and these are questions that I had as a non-believer before I ever trusted Christ as Savior and Lord. I set out to write my first book, Evidence That Demands a Verdict, now titled The New Evidence That Demands a Verdict. I set out to write that against Christianity. I figured any fool could do that and I'd qualify. But in the process, I ended up becoming a Christian. I was driven to it by the facts of history that it is true. And here are the two questions that I had and I want to answer in the next few segments. One, can you hold the New Testament in your hand? And can you say, what I have is what was written down, or has it been changed? You know, what people didn't like, they took out. What they did like, they put in. And it looks like it was put together by a committee. Do you have in the New Testament right now what was written down? But the second question was even more important to me. Was what was written down true? Look, if what was written down wasn't true, then I could care less that what I have is what was written down. Was what was written down really true? In other words, did Jesus really say that? Did he really do that? Have you ever been reading the Gospels or whatever, and you just kind of say, oh, wow, that's something. Did he really do that? I want to examine those two questions. And almost everything that I share with you are conclusions that I came to before I ever trusted Christ as Savior and Lord.